Hello friends, welcome to Litverse Academy. As I told you in the last introductory video, we will discuss every facets of English literature in details and in a very easiest way. So in this manner, in today's video, we are going to discuss English poetry. In this particular video, we will discuss what is poetry, what is the importance of poetry, how poetry is different from other forms of literature. Today, we will discuss the timeless beauty and profound significance of poetry. We will understand how it is more than just words on a page. When we discuss English poetry, we will understand it is a realm where language transcends its ordinary boundaries, weaving together words to create tapestries of meaning and emotions. So, friends, let's start. So, as I mentioned, we will explore various elements of poetry, delving into their unique characteristics, historical context, and enduring impact. Moving forward, the very first question flashes in our mind: what is poetry? We must understand the definition of poetry. What are those things that differentiate poetry from other forms of literature? Poetry, from Greek poesis, the meaning making and creating, is a form of literary art that uses language in creative and imaginative way to evoke emotions, paint vivid pictures, and convey deeper messages. It often employs various literary devices such as simile, metaphor, symbolism, rhyme to create vivid and imaginative expressions. It explores complex themes and emotions in a condensed and evocative manner, inviting readers to engage with language on multiple levels. As you can see, poetry is such a kind of art where poet uses literary devices, rhyme, rhythm, beat to convey the very complex message into imaginative way. In the next slide, we are going to see what do literary authors say about poetry. William Wordsworth said, "It is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings." According to William Wordsworth, poetry should arise naturally from intense emotion and experiences rather than being artificially crafted. Carl Sandburg said, "It is kind of the opening and closing of a door, leaving those who look through guess about what is seen during a moment." According to Carl Sandburg, poetry is that moment when a door opens and you see what is outside. That here, Carl Sandburg metaphorically compared the quality of poetry to opening and closing of a door. Robert Frost said, "A momentary stay against confusion." In this slide, we are going to discuss the types of poetry. You will see how many types of poetry are there in English literature. And the very first is lyric poetry. When poets express their thoughts and feelings about a subject in a brief but musical way, it is considered lyric poetry. Lyric poetry is a genre that focuses on expressing personal emotions, thoughts, and feeling in a musical and melodious manner. It often focuses on introspection, individual experiences, and subjective perceptions. These poems are praised by their musicality, imagery, and use of concise language. It covers a wide range of topics, including love, nature, spirituality, and personal reflection. So, as you can see, lyric poetry encompasses a wide range of forms and styles including sonnets, odes, elegies. These forms vary in structure and meter, but they all share a common emphasis on the emotional resonance of language and the musicality of words. Uh, what happened in history when you see the poems written by William Shakespeare, John Keats, P.B. Shelley, it has been used to explore themes of love, loss, nature, spirituality, and the human condition. They crafted verses that resonate with readers on a deeply personal and emotional level. So the common forms of lyric poetry are sonnets, odes, elegies. Narrative poetry, a poem that narrates the story. Like a story, a narrative poem has a plot, character, setting, and a theme. Narrative poems can vary in length and complexity, ranging from epic poems like Homer's The Iliad and Odyssey, which recounts heroic adventures and mythical quests, to shorter narrative ballads that tell tales of love, betrayal, and tragedy. And one of the distinguished features of narrative poetry is its use of narrative techniques such as plot development and character development and dialogue to move the story forward. These poems often incorporate elements of drama and suspense, engaging the reader's imagination and drawing them into the unfolding narrative. So here, these are the examples of narrative poem: The Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer, The Rape of the Lock by Alexander Pope, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, Coleridge, Sohrab and Rustam by Matthew Arnold. So in short, narrative poetry is a dynamic and engaging genre that combines the artistry of poetry with the storytelling power of prose. And the next one is dramatic poetry. What is dramatic poetry? A poem that is written in verse and is meant to be spoken or acted out, generally to tell the story or portray a situation. Most of the dramatic poetry is in the form of dramatic monologues, which are long speeches by one actor to another or the audience. The use of dramatic monologue is the defining feature of dramatic poetry, where a single speaker addresses implied or silent audience, revealing their thoughts, feelings, and motivations. This technique allows poets to delve deep into the psyche of their characters, offering insights into their inner lives and perspectives. It can be, dramatic poetry can take various forms, including plays, soliloquies, and dialogues, each of which serves to create a sense of tension, conflict, and resolution. So these are, and Robert Browning is very famous for his use of dramatic monologue in his poems. My Last Duchess, the best example, the long, the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock by T.S. Eliot. This video, I'm just giving you just an introduction or just a name of those elements. In later video, I will discuss in detail